Hi, anybody there? Is this on yet? Oh, John? Hello, IDA. John, you there? Hello?
Hello?
Yes. Bernie Poplinski. Hello?
Hi, it's Sabrina from Assemblywoman Buttonshot's office.
Oh, okay. So we're in early and nobody else is in, huh?
Yeah, I guess so.
Oh my goodness. That's why I like being in person.
Me too. Me too.
You've got to be getting used to it, though. I mean, it must be. How many
True.
of your meetings are probably? It's just, I don't know.
Yeah.
It's different, isn't it? Actually, for you people, it's probably it's a lot handier, and as far as
It does come in handy
access to-
sometimes. Yes.
Pardon?
It does come in handy at times.
Yes, I could see that. So I hope we're not the only two attending the meeting.
I know. I do see some other names. It looks like they just might be muted. So.
Oh, okay. Oh my goodness.
I don't believe they said no, you do it, or you go get the bottle. It's not my call, but the guys ask you, I won't. I just switch on the rest.
I get back camera.
Mark backs up.
The thing you took the trash out, that was what happened.
How's his shouldering?
You're not even close to being.
Wasn't it fair? Oh, it wasn't a fair? Yeah. Who did he go to?
Yeah.
He did mine.
Get screwed up.
Hopefully it's all better.
Can we all stand? Say the pledge of allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I'm acting chairman until the dentist void returns. So I didn't want to fill his chair. So anyways, Stacy, can you have
Mr. Bono? Mr. Albrecht?
Here.
Luz?
Here.
Mr. Rano?
Here.
Ricky?
Here.
Warren Zach?
Here.
And you're right.
Here.
That's one.
Okay. John, mission statement.
Sure. The Herkimer County Industrial Development Agency delivers economic incentives to businesses and industry to diversify and strengthen Herkimer County's tax base and enhance community vitality by supporting job creation, business, and industrial and community revitalization. We strive to develop the economy in a organized, sustainable, and environmentally beneficial manner.
What was that? I guess people got excited about our mission statement, so they're charged up. Well, with that, let's see if we can get you to be charged up over last meeting's minutes. So all of them have been emailed to you, and you've had a chance to review them. Do we have any discussion on the minutes? If not, can I have a motion to accept September 23rd? And second, Kate, sorry, John, no problem. The treasurer's report.
No problem.
All those in favor? Aye. Opposed, no. Motion carried. Okay. Also, pages 6 through 13 are review of the September.
I'm sorry, you skipped over the housing.
Oh, housing
hearing.
Okay,
minutes.
sorry about that. I got too excited over the minutes and I just jumped ahead. So let's go to the housing.
Yep. So once again, we just submitted the minutes from the public hearing. No comments were made during the meeting, and we just need that approved this week. Yes.
Can I have a motion?
None. Thank you.
Yeah. Corey, second. All those in favor of the housing policy, 6, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Motion carried. Okay, now we're getting to the financial stuff. So, again, any discussion or questions regarding any of the financial information?
There's just one thing I'd like to point out is that we did close our loan with the USDA. We ended up closing that out. What would happen if we didn't receive the funds, we would have to pay it ourselves. We felt as though compound with interest and everything, it was better that we just close it out now. So we had some funding to close that out, and we're still getting payments in, and he's right on track, right, guys? Yeah, we have nobody who's in default or late with any payments. So we felt that it was the best time to do that. And now, just in case, you know, in 3 years or if anything ever happened, we'd end up owing the USDA. So we felt it best to close that.
With that, can I have a motion to approve the financial report? Okay, Mike. And second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, no.
I would just like to say one more thing about our what we're doing now. Because of our audit, one of our 3 audits, by the way, we are now being audited by the we're being audited by the Attorney General or the Controller's Office, the Housing and Community Renewal, and now by the ABO for our 2 solar projects in Little Falls. As the result of some of the findings, we have now set up that John or Ann can come in and sign off on checks before we do submit them. And neither one of them are allowed to sign checks. So it's a good checks and balance for us. I don't know if I'm going to use checks it up today, but it's something we needed to do. It does slow down a little bit. We don't want to bother both of them all the time. So we are trying to stack up some of our checks.
When I walked in, there was a lady there.
She's with the Controller's Office. They're aware of the other 2 audits.
So 3 audits, 3
audits.
different people.
3 different organizations are auditing us right now. So if you don't think we have enough paperwork to do, welcome to the Herkimer County IDA.
Is that a result of something?
No, the funny thing is the first audit that we got was just we were next in line. There was no, we asked, they said, oh no, we did Jefferson County last, we just moved down to do you guys now, which is fine. The second audit we got from Housing and Community Renewal. We're doing a lot of projects there, so they thought it's good that they take a look at some of ours, even though it's a constant paper trail with them. It's unbelievable the amount of back and forth with the county because we're the sub-recipient of that. So it's really the county that gets the grant, but we do all the paperwork. And then the last one is because solar is such a hot topic. The ABO decided to take a look at projects, and believe it or not, there's a lot of projects going on, but we're one of the few in the state that have completed projects that are actually generating solar into the grid. Mm-hmm. And so that's why they're looking at those. So we're just hitting a hot streak with audits. So yeah, I don't know, maybe the IRS will come in next, who knows, but we do have quite a few going on. And, you know, not saying for all of our other reporting that we have to do too, which is never ending. You know, there's sheets upon sheets that I can share with you that we, every month, Stacy goes through and we need to do these reports and we need to do these next month and we need to do, in fact, we're going to be talking about a 6-year budget that we have to submit to the ABO, 6 years. So I got a crystal ball and we took a look, and I mean, it's crazy how they ask you to put this in place, but we submit it every year for 6 additional years. So this is what's consuming us a lot right now is these audits, and they're very good though, because if they come and say, do you have time? We can say no, and we have many a time. We pick a time when we can sit down and talk with them. But they want to, you know, they have questions about files. They have found some things. We haven't taken a dime. I mean, I'm not worried about money. Some of the reporting has changed. Some things were never done here, and we've come up with policies, and that's why we hired Hodgkin Russ to review and update some of our policies. That's why we're working with Tony on a couple other ones. I mean, so we continue to move in the right direction, but they're going to print out some things that they found, especially that one that we changed, but it doesn't matter. They found it, so they like to let people know. Now, whether the media runs with it or not, I have no idea, but I really, we're not, we report everything. It's just, some of it's just not the way that they want it. But we're changing.
John, have any of the 3 audits concluded, or?
Oh, no.
And do they have a time frame on?
No, they don't. The 2 that are here now, their group, but not them, have been in Otsego County for 2.5 years. So it's like every month they come back in for a couple of days and they take a look. Now that county has nothing as much as we have going on, and they have 2 people in their office. And they've had such a dramatic change too over the years, so it's hard to find anything, and they've moved. And you know, you don't think about this, but we need to keep our records forever. So you know, we've been up and down. We have a storage room upstairs, and just trying to find those files. And some of the past ones just aren't complete. I went with I can't remember if I went with Brian or Jimmy to Mike Stevens' house and got a whole garage full not that long ago. And we were told for how many years no other files existed. So one day I got a hold of Stevens. I actually saw him at a jewelry store. And I said, hey, do you still have some of our files? Of course I do. So there we went and got them. Scary.
So the audit was random, or the audit was maybe because of the executive director, the attorney that we have? What caused them to audit?
Just, no, they're random.
You didn't laugh.
No, I'm not finding you funny this morning. So, yeah, it was, but you know, audits, when I came from manufacturing, we got audited every 3 years by the AS, to be AS 9100 and ISO. And we learned every time. We got audited every 18 months by New York State Health and Welfare, because we had them come in and test for air and noise and look at everything. And they always found something, even though it was there the last time. So we learned from it. We're going to learn from this. Is it convenient for us right now with everything else going on? Not at all, but we have to do it. So, and they're clear, and we've told them about the other audits, and pretty much said they can't, you know, ABO and controller, they don't really see eye to eye, so there's nothing they can do there. We let the ABO know that we are being audited by them, and it was kind of a shoulder shrug. So we'll just keep plugging along, but you know, that's what's going to happen. We're dedicating more time to that than what we need to.
So since you've already touched on ABO budget, do you want to take it?
Yeah, did we approve? I
thought we approved
the budget. Yeah, or the regular financials. Okay. So we did include in here just before that too. If you look, we also include pilot payments and everything too. You saw that sheet in here. So that just gives you a little idea of what's giving back. What's really going to change the dynamics of pilots will be next year when Tractor Supply kicks in. It's going to really be it's going to help out every one of those communities. So it's going to be fantastic. Considering that there was no tax on that land for about 25 years. You know, they're receiving some JDF and Heidelberg and Adirondack Food and Fuel. But the kicker is going to be when Tractor takes off. Tractor's over 730 employees right now. So then on page 14, you're going to find the Paris report for our estimated. This got cut off on mine.
What's the bottom? What is the
No, I mean on the side. I only had.
It got cut off.
It did get cut off. Okay, you'll just have to take my word for it. It's good numbers there. So these are just what we're estimating. You can see what was last year, then our current year, and then where we have raised it up a little bit and changed some things. But as we get out there, it's hard to say. As we get out there too, if we don't purchase any more land, we're going to be without land. So how are we going to do those projects? That's okay. So it is what it is. It's something that we need to do. We're able to adjust it every year too. So next year we'll be able to adjust it as well.
Is there discussion regarding the PARS report? Do you want a motion?
No, definitely.
I have a motion to accept the ABO budget for the next 6 years. A motion. Lori, Kate, all those opposed, no. Motion. Okay, Victoria, micro enterprise update.
All right. So the micro enterprise, we have $8,781 remaining of the $200,000 award. Those funds are committed to GS Breast Farm. So I have been following up with them almost daily to get the final documentation for that business. I expect to do one more draw, and that should be the end of it. So I expect to do the one draw, and then we'll be doing all of the reporting for the jobs that will be created. So there's still some, as John said, reporting after the fact, but we're not accepting any more applications. There's nothing else to go through with.
Victoria, can I say one thing? So we have an opportunity to apply again. Right now, it's very difficult for us to take on another grant like that just because of the workload that we have. We're actively looking for additional staff to help with some of the other things, but there's a lot going on, and to go after that other, I think we would be successful because of what we've done. That's how they look to see, and I think we'd get about $100,000. Now I feel bad for the smaller companies, but until we can, and it's a revolving application, so we can do it at times. So I think we're going to hold off the remainder of the year to apply for that again, just because we just don't have the staff.
There's not any personnel lines embedded in that grant, right? You can't build a budget to hire somebody to manage that.
Well,
grant.
we get so much money out of it, but it's what, 7,000?
It's
Oh,
8 for delivery and 8 for admin.
Okay. Oh, okay. But it's spread out over the period of 2 years. It's hard to really justify
You
that.
can't bring somebody on to manage that.
I would not want to switch Victoria off of managing that grant. I'd rather take away responsibilities from all three of us for the new person, as far as when it comes to some of these things. It's hard enough to understand the process of what you have to do for these grants to switch. I mean, to bring someone on new and show them as we're going along, sure. But I mean, we're doing the water transmission line grant and the, what's the other grant that there's similar paperwork? The BOA. Oof, there's another one. So the constant reporting and emails on a weekly basis, and you might not think it's a lot, but it's a tremendous amount. And the webinars that you have to go on just to try to understand what you've processed. The one good thing for the BOA is our contact at the Department of State is fantastic. And the same way with the micro enterprise. The people that we deal with micro enterprise, we're also dealing with the grant for the food processing. So they're good with that. I mean, so we've been in all of our CDBG for companies, I'll go through them. So we have great relationships there. But we don't have a good relationship with Department of State for our water transmission line grant. And I'm concerned about that because that's $3.2 million that I'm juggling. So to bring somebody on to start working on the grant side, I don't think is smart for us right now. I think we'll have them work on some things once we bring them in. but it's, we have a lot of grants, you know, and it's kind of unique because when I talk to other IDAs, they won't even go after, you know, 70% of the stuff that we're doing. So, and that's not counting the EPA grant I have to do for 600,000 for this next, you know, reviewing that grant now. You know, so that one's not as bad. I mean, there's paperwork, a lot of paperwork, but we figured it out the last time. So it's just going to be some additional phase 1 and phase 2s, but we don't want to lose that money either. So it's hard to really, you know, to go after this one right now, this micro enterprise. I feel bad about that, but if we can get, we have a couple good resumes now that we're talking to. If we can score a good one there, then maybe we'll jump on that, but I'll let y'all know. Okay. I wish we had more hours in the day. I'm sorry. It's just, it's difficult.
A good problem to have. So let's move on the agenda. Number 8, small business revolving loan fund, stuff about brass tack restaurant.
Yeah, well, Victoria is really going to talk about some of the, you know, if you have questions about what happened in the past. But they're a viable business that is in line to get this grant. They've submitted all the documentation. It's, I don't know how else to say. I mean, these are kind of the grants of not, you know, and loans of last resorts. They're not really the ones that they're going to go to the bank with and even get that type of equity or that type of money for it. They're putting in some equity, but so, I mean, we got some notes back from John on, you know, to talk about this a little further. So, I mean, we can get into it as wherever you want, unless Tony feels as though some of this should go into executive session.
Yep, Victoria, the rest of the grant requirements. Do you have a copy of those?
Don't have the cover letter with me.
Let's talk about this one in executive session. We'll talk about this.
Okay. So, Mr. Klus, this is okay that we put this one to the.
We'll move that to exec. Is there anything else to discuss on the revolving?
Yes, Victoria.
We did have an application from another business owner that was recently approved, but there was difficulty collecting the required documentation. I did work closely with Tony to get that resolved, and a letter was sent from Tony to the business owner directly, hopefully resolving that situation.
Okay. So we will move that to the session on 8. So we'll move to item 9.
So what, we're going to talk about both of those in executive session?
I think we should talk about them both in executive, right, Tony?
Yeah, I think because of the background that one. And
did you ever get Joe ever call you?
Yes, finally, 3 weeks later.
I called him and pestered him.
Let's talk about the standard workday resolution.
You know, I don't feel as though my standard workday is 7 hours, but what can I tell you? So on here we have, well, you know, in our potential new hire, and if the potential new hire is part-time. We wanted to include that so we wouldn't have to come back. So this is the state standard hours, and we have to submit this to New York State, all new things that we find about every day. So it's just something that has to be approved by the board. We need a resolution of passage.
Why are we approving something the state's telling us to do?
I was just going to ask that. I don't understand.
But
you know, that's how they count the New York State retirement.
Oh, towards the
Calculate your retirement based on your standard workday. So, like if you're a part-timer and you only work 4 hours, they base your retirement time on just the 4 hours. But you have to have a standard work in place showing, so they know how to calculate.
We can't put 8, 9 hours. I can't do any of that for that, but this is the hours that we have to submit.
it just whatever. We'll approve it, even though it makes no sense.
Pensions are based on that?
Yeah, it's already approved. It's gonna be of the budget, right?
No, because they don't care what our budget is, the retirement system.
So what makes this different from any other?
We don't approve all of them, correct?
No, I think this is the one that we haven't had one with them, have we?
We have, but the titles have changed.
Oh.
Victoria's title changed. So we did have some on file, and it's only needed if they come into audit. You don't have to submit it, but you need to have it on file showing it before to do the standard workday.
So it's part
For
of the
those
protocol for the board to
positions.
approve
Yeah.
the form.
Yes.
Okay.
You know, I don't know if this is a catch-22 or not or whatever, but all three of our employees are on exempt payroll, basically. You are, John, for example.
Yeah.
Exempt payroll, there's really no standard hours for exempt payroll.
But they want you to have it in order to put towards the retirement system.
Understand that. But let's say we sign this, we approve it, you work 7 hours a day. Okay, that's what it says.
Fantastic.
Yeah, right.
I'll take a
But
part-time job.
basically, I don't know if it's New York state law or federal law, if you're on exempt payroll, your hours are whatever the job needs you for.
I have to work a
So-
minimum of 7 hours a day.
Is that what that says then?
Right? It's a minimum.
I don't see that there, but it's a standard work day is 7 hours. So
But you're not gonna, they won't pay for more than 7 hours a day towards my retirement.
well, I know that, but let's say if the ladies were on hourly payroll and said 7 hours a day, and they came in at 7:30 this morning for the meeting, we'll say, you gotta let them go home at 3 o'clock or pay them time and a half. So I don't understand one labor law versus the standard thing. Do I really know? Like you said, it's just a piece of paper.
Well, it's
Doesn't
towards
make
our
sense.
retirement, you know, so it's really not,
Right,
the retirement system's different than, I believe, the labor law people
right.
do
But
it.
let's say that if we had a person that was, I'm not even sure if we consider you guys exempt or not.
Yeah, they are.
They are exempt. But if it's your wage, is your pension, if they weren't on exempt payroll, we'd have to pay them more if they worked overtime. I know you guys do work overtime, but you do. It just doesn't make sense to me that you would say the standard work is 7 hours.
Because that's all we can contribute.
And
Okay.
your pension is calculated based on your annual salary, not per hour.
That's, yes,
I
that's
mean,
what I'm
it
saying.
makes
Doesn't
no
make any
sense to
sense.
me. They don't say you take your, let's say your salary is 50,000. You don't go and calculate something on and on. So the pension, they take their annual salary. It's not.
But we have to show that we work a standard
We've had
hour.
this conversation a million times. The legislature's never going to give it a good answer. We have to do the same.
Because I don't think no one has a great
There really
answer.
isn't a great answer.
Yeah, let's not waste it. This is
Just a piece of paper. That's all
Well,
it is.
we'll approve the motion, or we'll approve it that our employees will follow the standard workday resolution, right? And we know that all three of them surpass it greatly. Is that?
Oh, I like that.
If you like that, I gotta throw you a bone since you didn't laugh at my last joke.
I'm not laughing. I'm
They didn't do
I
that
know.
one. They're laughing.
I know.
First comeback.
All right, can I have a, John,
Yes, I
All right.
understand. I agree.
Corey?
Make the motion.
Yes, sir.
All those in favor of this wonderful motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All right, motion reluctantly carried. All right, let's go to Feldmeyer. I gotta have a little more coffee. When's that dentist appointment? Were they drilling 8
Oh, I was
cavities in
gonna
him?
say, I wanted
Where the
to
heck
have
is
more
he?
dentist appointments.
I'm gonna have
Hey,
to get
don't
a
listen to
raise.
this. He does live in Schuyler.
Where's this dentist?
No, I'm just saying he is.
All
Never
right,
mind. It was a
but they
bad
don't have
joke.
any dentists in Schuyler.
Well, they might.
Do they?
We don't have much of anything.
Do they have a
in
dentist in
We got
Schuyler?
a
I didn't
Dollar
think so.
General.
I can be.
Skylar. We do have a Dollar
I
General.
love that Dollar
yeah,
General.
I know. I
It's
do.
clean and no one's ever there.
They-
I love it.
It's like, do they have a dentist in Dallas?
That's the best kept secret. Skylar.
This is taped, isn't it?
People are online right now from Schuyler.
All right, let's go to Feldmeyer, number 10. Okay, John.
So we need a resolution authorizing the project. They're full bore ahead. This is just the paperwork that has to be done. I think we made a little change, but I can't remember.
No, we had a conditional resolution and we requested that's some extra data.
Okay.
And we approved that, and this amended resolution just updates the findings on that job creation.
Oh, job creation, that's right. Sorry. So we did have to verify some other things, and now they satisfied our attorney's needs. And
How did that ever end up?
Good.
And can you remind me how many employees that they were looking to add with them?
I can't tell you the employee numbers, but there was a 7-year history given to us documenting their efforts, postings for job retention, fluctuation in employment based on market conditions, projections of what they were.
Working with BOCES, working with staff works, getting people in. They gave us a lot of, so they covered what their requirements were. I was the most worried too because of the audit. So, but they satisfied it. We're going to move ahead.
Going forward, I think we'll be a little more monitoring jobs and changing our forms information.
And we don't ask now. We have to worry about the climate too. So when someone says, "Well, I want to hire 100 jobs," I want to hire 100 people. We have to sit down. Let's be realistic about these things. How can you hire 100? Where are they coming from? What type of skill set? We want to be more in tune to what the state says too. So
we've tightened up those language, those forms, etc.
Well, now it has been tightened up prior to them. I mean, this is an older project that we're going after. So what we couldn't do is a newer project without dissecting the older one first. Yeah.
Okay.
We dissected.
There's going to be some new language in the recapture agreement addressing.
And they signed off on everything.
The recapture will be on us to monitor that?
Yes. Which we monitor a lot of it now, believe it or not. We require, what's that report?
The ABO report yearly.
Yeah, but what's the report they have to submit?
The job number?
Yeah. It's like a 45 or something.
Oh, yeah.
Is it a report where they just put down how many employees they have and sign it, or
no,
do they actually get some sort of payroll?
We're going to start requiring a payroll report, or they're reporting to the state.
But we have gotten it for other grants in the past too. We had to, like for Tractor Supply and HBK. So this will just add to that, and they fill it out anyway. So it's just them sending it to us to monitor that.
All right. Well, with that, any other discussion with Feldmeyer? Can I have a motion to pass the Feldmeyer resolution? Kate, Mike, all those in favor? I will say that when Feldmeyer's attorney was here, I was very good. But what any of you got, his brother is in the political race of the country, and it's 2 to 3%.
Oh, is it tied?
I saw last night. So. Anyways,
no, it's his cousin.
It's his cousin?
It's his cousin.
His brother?
No, it's his cousin.
All right. Governor of Virginia.
So former. Yeah, now he wants to be
wants to get it back. And it was
40%.
Yeah.
He was ahead by 40. Now it's 2 to 3, but you said tied now. So
that's today.
Yeah. No, Tuesday.
Well, next week is the election.
Yeah. I thought maybe
well, I'll hear about it if you want to come to the public for dinner for VFW.
The VFW.
All right. I get in trouble there. All right, let's go to water transmission line. Woo. All right. Go ahead, John.
I'm tired of it.
You tired?
I'm tired.
Well, you only got like a few more.
No,
to go.
I mean, we had a great cigar dinner last night. So we're finally working on phase 3 of the MRF grant with Barton Lachutis and some other suppliers. So this, you've approved the grant already, but we wanted to make sure that we got the approval for the 975 that's on this agreement. So we will not spend more money than we are getting in the grant. So let's just keep that in mind. The total grant's about 3.2 million. Phase 3 is 1 point. What is? I can't remember right now. I'm so sorry. But we'll have this in phase 3, and then we'll finish up with phase 4. So we just need the board approval to continue on and keep moving with this. We thought it's best just to let everybody on the board see it and approve it. Tony reviewed it already as well. We made some changes, sent it back, and everybody's okay with it. So you'll start to see, we did surveys, so now engineering we'll start working on easements, we'll start working with the Railroad, the Canal Corp. This does not tie into any municipality yet, so they don't need to be a part of this agreement right now. It's just us getting in that transmission line. We have approval at a board resolution from the Mohawk Valley Water Authority approving moving ahead as well.
This is this project taking a lot of yours and your staff's time?
Of course it has.
I mean,
I'm still trying to find an engineer that I can use. Personally, I don't think we hire another engineering firm to review another engineering firm's things. So I've been trying to find it, and Mark's been great. He got me 2 resources. One, no, the gentleman goes away for 2 months at a time and has no internet connection where he goes. I said, lucky you. And then the other guy we've been playing telephone tag with. So I'm hoping we get somebody. I'm looking for some retired PE that understands this better. I mean, I'm learning, but I don't want to take that chance. I just want another set of eyes to look at it. So I'm working, and that person is covered in the grant. You know, we're not spending money that we don't have. But yeah, there's and Stacy, how many hours have you been on watching how to do the grant? 6. I mean, we have to watch. There's so many updates to these things that, oh, there's an update to this, or this EPA grant, or this one. Or before you apply, watch this 2.5-hour, seminar or webinar. I mean, it's that constant moving of everything. And now new laws just came through or were signed about IDAs and more things that we have to do. It's evolving constantly. And this is really out of our realm, but it's a good thing that we're doing it because I think, 2,200 residents, 1,100 businesses, our college, our assisted living homes, they'll all be covered underneath this. So I think it's important, but yes, it is taking up quite a bit of our time. But I think of the property that we'll be able to develop off of it too. I see economic development with this too. And not only along the transmission line, but the communities we're servicing now are going to have better water or opportunities for additional water, so it's endless what this transmission line can generate for the county.
John, can you make a note to talk about this in executive session? Because I got a phone call on Sunday that was quite disturbing to me.
On the water transmission line? Sure.
I'm sorry, does that qualify for executive session?
I don't know that it does, to be honest with you, Kate.
Okay. I got a call from an individual who asked me to vote certain individuals out of office on election day so that we can squash the transmission line.
The transmission line is an independent to Schuyler or any of the other communities. The transmission line will run down and then it's up to your communities to sign into it from day one. So for one community to want to squash it to not service those other ones, that'll never fly.
No, they don't think that the engineering is there. They don't think that the pipeline is going to be big enough. I spent 2.5 hours on the phone.
And this person's a professional engineer? Yeah. I'm sorry.
Still working at design work, aren't we?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, so.
Well, it's a 24-inch water main. If a 24-inch water main isn't big enough.
I know. And I tried to explain that to him, and he's.
They'll have his opportunity when we speak to the communities and when we go to public hearing.
Well, they've already gone on the side of the communities. I mean, that's a whole different project. And there's other fundings that we have until we get the design. We can't even go after additional funding.
Well, I tried to explain to him. I said, when everybody goes to vote, that's why they put curtains on voting booths so that you vote your opinion. You don't vote somebody else's opinion. Yeah. And then he got mad at me. So,
Yeah, no, that's fine. And yeah, this does not tie into any one individual project. It was a catalyst, Ilian, and it got the governor to his staff and got us all moving ahead. Mm-hmm. But it really isn't determined. And to come past there, if down the road, that community, your community, any one of them want to tie in, it's going to cost a whole lot more.
I'm still trying to get you to loop it up around Charlotte's Road.
I know. We tell them that's not us. That would be your individual community. We're as the IDA, and we can't support bringing water to individual homes. It's just not what we do. But we can support the main transmission line that can service every other community. So, we looked into making sure that we could take this grant on in the beginning because it was a little, you know, we were very concerned, and we went to the state for their opinion, and we got back, yes, we could do it. Because I mean, I was nervous too, like, what the hell are we doing? But the infrastructure is going to support 22,000 residents. I mean, that's huge. That is huge.
John,
just a quick question. So Barton and Judas is performing the scope of their work based on state requirements for this transmission line. So the additional PE that you're looking for is not critical, but helpful in your eyes, just to be able to give you additional guidance, because they already have guidance, right?
They have guidance from the water authority, from the state. We are only, I can't, you know, it's a huge project. I would really rather have a professional engineer to say, look, John, I reviewed this segment, I reviewed this, you know, the gas lines that's also running there. Some areas we talked about, we're going to have to actually run in the road, you know, and we're going to have to do some different things. And I want the guy behind me saying, well, I've been doing this for 30 years, I've never seen that. Let's take a deeper look. I'll go, great. You know, I don't know. You know, we were doing some other things now too, and I thought it was all set. Then I get a company coming back and say, well, we need to do this, this, and this. Like, wait a second, I heard you and you said it was complete. Now it's not. So now I'm nervous.
So look at the big picture.
I gotta have somebody look at that.
So it sounds like it's a retired PE with even specific either transmission line or wastewater or something similar to that.
Something that understands it. Yeah. I mean, I reached out to Jay Uwanek, who understands roads, and he doesn't want to do it. You know, our retired county guy. A couple other individuals. It's you know, they can make some money on it, and they're not going to make a retirement check. But I mean, it's something I'm trying to find somebody that can really review with us. So,
my perspective, it's nice to have somebody just pick up the phone. You know, when you sit next to them, you're supposed to call.
Well, I can't call. I mean, he's going to say, no, this is right. And I can't blame him for that because he's got a team. So, and Delta's been great to us, and we're working on several projects with them, but it's a competitive world. You know, this engineering firm might say, oh no, the slope needs to be this, and you need to have it so far away here. This firm says, oh no, that slope is fine. We got that pump station here. It's going to work. And I'm going to be, you know, I'd rather have the non-competitive talk, you know, and that's what I think we need here.
Yeah. Okay. John, Tony Carlos would be able to do this, or maybe his town.
No,
I don't think so.
Yeah,
he's not even working at his firm. He sold it. I talked to Dominic Frank about a project they're working on, and I asked about him.
Because it wasn't that long ago he was doing stuff in Herkimer. You know, but
I would say that.
What or with George Bunk? He's, you know,
I don't know. All right. But if anybody thinks of anybody, or you know, even a net professor, I'm happy. I mean, we need to do something. We need to start soon. Just so I'm just thinking it not current, but maybe they were. You know, I'm just thinking just so they have that that attention to detail. I know some are going to let it lapse after they retire, but that's fine. You know, are you a PE? Yeah.
John, they could be out of the area.
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, just so they can come and check. They're going to have to come look in the hole, you know.
But it's hard to ask a competitive engineering firm to oversee
another firm like that.
That's like and if you call the existing, is it right? Well, of course they're going to say it. No, we sent you wrong stuff. It's not going to happen. Maybe Mark will twist his other arm.
I was waiting. I thought they would come from hand.
I guess if you don't change the diapers in the correct household, you see.
Social services will be at their house today.
All right.
I don't know. He looks pretty good to me for somebody who had surgery last Friday.
Friday before that.
Oh,
we need.
They're pulling double duty a lot longer.
Hey, I didn't smoke cigars last night, but my head's filled up with smoke right now. What are we voting? What's this?
We're voting on this contract.
On the contract, yep. We're voting on amending the water transmission line. What is that? Am I saying?
It's amendment number 1. So this is just for phase 3. We're voting to continue on with the contract. We've already voted to accept the grant. Now this is the phase 3, which is really our phase 1. Don't make me go down that path right now.
We're going to say all those in favor, say aye.
Well, you need a motion.
Oh, I need a motion.
I think that'd be awesome.
And there, Kate, second. All those in favor? Aye. Opposed, no.
I can't remember it.
All right, that was glad that wasn't gas. It was just water. All right, let's go to 12.
I don't remember.
What's the outstanding issue with Skylar Business Park?
Oh yeah, where are we with the money, with the still our 50,000 being in escrow?
Demand has been made and the attorneys are scurrying for both Windecker and Allied Abstract right now. So I can talk with, that's all I can say. I've made the demand.
So do you feel as though with having that on our deed, is that causing trouble with like
No.
our new project? No.
Now that I'm talking to legal, no. This is common. We escrow. It's a standard escrow agreement.
But they have 50,000 of our money in a you have it in a non-interest bearing account where we would have that 50,000 in an interest bearing account doing some other things. So I am under the impression that we need that $50,000. How much longer are we keeping that in your escrow account?
I can sue it tomorrow. I can set the world on fire if you want.
Well, I don't know if I want that.
Well, I don't want to do it either. These things, litigation takes time. Trying to do this without suing everybody and setting the world on fire.
Have you actually been told how much the original owner has used this property as collateral? Or how much, is it a line of credit against?
Well, that's one of the complications. It's a $50,000 line of credit still against the property.
But it's not all used, I'm assuming.
No, but apparently, Bank of America, because of privacy rules, will not give me any more information on it other than say that it's an open existing lien and that the property owner has still been using it.
So it must be a
We
revolving
have
loan.
to assume that they can use up the max.
Yeah.
They could, which is
Well,
$50,000.
I know, but we don't know. So, all right, we don't know what the amount is, right? But they're saying that the land is collateral for this home equity.
The land was used as collateral for you.
Isn't that,
I don't know
if
how
they've
did
sold
it.
the property and you've sold the property, isn't that fraud on their part?
Well, she probably, well, it's tricky now. She probably signed an affidavit saying there were no liens against the property. I'm sure she did.
Yeah, but if they have a lien with a bank on a piece of property that they no longer own, that's fraud, isn't it?
Not necessarily. If she did it intentionally, maybe if you saw the legal description and tax ID numbers on the parcels through there, maybe she wasn't aware that the vacant drive-in property was the collateral. Maybe she thought it was the house across the street. So
Who's she?
It would be Mrs. Stevenson.
Maybe she doesn't even know there is that on that property.
Well, I don't, from what I understand, she doesn't know much of anything. She's got dementia.
But
so-
this has been going on for a while.
I know.
Well, actually, it hasn't. I mean, with your perspective, it had. For
4 years.
2 months.
No. The lien has been on that property. The
lien's been on the property for 13 years, but it wasn't discovered until 2 months back.
I don't know how a title company missed that.
Twice.
Right.
That's why they're at the table now. Allied has reached out to me for information I've shared the file with them.
They're just people too. They,
Mhm.
you know, it's like any other sort of vendor.
I'll give you an example. I had this happen the other day, and hopefully we can move on from this situation with a large piece of agricultural property that was being subdivided to develop and put restrictions on it against livestock, horses. What's on 20 acres of the parcel? A horse farm. Obviously, we question it. We looked, they researched it, they abstracted it, nobody could find anything. We finally find the farmer from 25 years ago. What happened here? Oh, I made a deal, we signed something. They did sign something. They called it an agreement, they filed it with the county. The county misindexed it in a file that doesn't exist anymore called miscellaneous documents. They didn't put it on the land records. So it wasn't in the abstract.
This obviously happened in Oneida County, not Herkimer.
It happened in Oneida County, so this happens all the time. So
Well, I know that because we got an abstract that the house wasn't included with the, or the house wasn't separated and the house was a separate.
all I can say is we've got everybody's attention now, and I expect the resolution.
Okay. The other thing with Skylar is what Tony was bringing up too, is that we believe we're finally clear of the wetland situation. Still didn't cost us $50,000, so that's a good thing. Mike Emmerich pointed out the areas. We submitted them to the Corps of Engineers. So far, everything is good, right?
They signed off on it. I'm just waiting for Mike to get me the final map to use as an exhibit, and we're here at this.
Then we get to move ahead with Colucci Trucking and whatever other potential we can do in the front. We did the car study and we only got 5,600 cars a day. It's a little disappointing for what we wanted to do, but that doesn't mean we're out of that running. So we'll just so everyone.
Boy, if you've been on Route 5 at 7:45 in the morning, it seems like thousands of cars.
Well, they had this little tracker over it, and one weekend, me and Jimmy kept going in circles around it to add up and down, but that didn't help. So you might think there's a lot, but there isn't. It's disappointing because I really thought there was a lot more. So that big meeting we had with DOT and everything, there's no fuel for the fire. Okay, so that's all I want to talk about that one.
Okay, I guess we'll move on to approving a law firm for bonding and Project Twilight.
Yes, well, three projects.
Okay.
Project East, Project Housing, and Project Twilight. We will discuss each individual project in executive session. However, in open session, we can do this now or wait till after we discuss it. But talking with our current counsel too, all three of these projects have a bond component. There's only, 9 attorney firms in the state that do bonding?
That many.
If that many. So Hodgkin Russ is who we've been working with. So we would like a resolution. It's pretty much written up here what we need to do in order to utilize them for just these 3 projects. So if anybody wants to wait, or we can just do it now. It's up to you all. I think you have a good understanding.
We can do it now. Is everybody okay with that? Yes. So can I have a motion to approve Hodgkin and Ross to be the lead bond counsel for Project East Housing?
Bond and special counsel.
Bond and special counsel for Project East, Project Housing, and Project Twilight. Kate, John, second. All those in favor?
We need to do a roll call on that.
Okay. All right, go ahead.
Okay, Mr. Bono.
Sure.
Yes.
Serrano.
Yes.
Warnzak.
Yes.
Zareki. Yes. Kate Ricky.
Yep.
And Tori Albert.
Yes, here. Assemblywoman Button has a question.
Assemblyman Buttonshine.
Assemblywoman.
Assemblywoman Buttonshine, I understand you're on the phone and you have a question for us.
Mary Ann, can you hear us?
Hi, I'm Sabrina. I'm from the Assemblywoman's office. I do see she's on the call and I see a hand up, but I don't know.
Good morning, everyone. I'm sorry. I thank you for the opportunity. I just want to thank you for all you're doing. And John, I understand with the various audits, it sounds like too many duplications on the state's end. So I look forward to reaching out to the controller's office on your behalf of all IDAs to talk about how this can be streamlined. Is if you're spending more time preparing documentation than doing the great work you're doing, then we've defeated the purpose. I have spoke to the controller in the past, and the concern is the fraud that occurs and the process of ensuring that that fraud doesn't go rampant. So again, I will look into that and get back to you. Thank you again for all the great work you're doing.
Thank you very much. Yeah, we're confident in what we're doing. It's just that some of the rules have changed over the past couple of years and we want to be caught up. So we're not looking at it. It's a terrible thing. It's just coming at a bad time with three other, you know, a total of 3 agencies reviewing what we're doing.
And I agree with you. The duplication to me makes no sense. For no reason whatsoever, if you're spending more time on paperwork, then how can you progress forward in your positive projects? So that are great for the community. So thank you again for everyone for all you're doing. As I consider these meetings very productive in the sense to make me proud of all the work you're doing. So thank you.
Thank you.
Any other elected officials on the call that would like to say anything? Miller, Smullen, Oberacker, Tenney, Biden. All right, that being here. Okay, we'll move on and we'll move to the next item, Chamber of Commerce technology upgrade.
So all of you received a quote. We've been using this room for quite a long time now. They have an opportunity to upgrade, instead of us using this iPad and having some issues, to upgrade with a large screen, camera. They've asked if we would contribute. Our portion would be $835.78. I think for the amount that we would have had to pay for rent or moved on and, you know, or gone to other places to support with the new technology upgrade of a better camera, better phones in here. I think it's important that we do that. We not only have our board meeting in here, we have many other meetings in here. And I think it's important to keep the technology up and to move us ahead. So I'm making a recommendation we do it, but it's all up to you.
Can I have a motion that we approve to allocate $835.78 to upgrade the technology in this room? And Corey second. All those in favor?
Aye. Just so you know, we have enough money in our IT budget to cover that. So
I guess we'll go to the last item, and this meeting isn't having a lot of teeth in it because he's there for an hour now. I was supposed to just start the meeting. I thought I was going to get the minutes. Here I am. I see what you did. I think so. You can't trust politicians, man. All right. Twofold. Let's move.
I'm not a politician. I just hold an office.
All right.
I don't take offense to that.
Okay.
Somebody just forward you in for the holiday, right?
Exactly.
You got to just take a little of my humor. I know it's not always funny.
So we are working with an attorney's firm, the Village of Ilion, out of Washington, D.C., that's going and working with Unisys on cleanup dollars. And one of the outlines of what they're looking to do is we did receive from DEC a letter that states that they feel as though Unisys is responsible for all of that contamination. And part of the things that we need to do is have some renderings, but I'll call them drawings because renderings mean something totally different in our world now. And I think that we should, and we'll get this back through projects that are going to happen there. But I think we need to move ahead with in architects, get some drawings of this more as what we need to help support our case with Unisys. So I'm just looking for a motion to get this through. It's roughly up to $3,500. It says services, so we can do that without issue.
Can I have a motion to approve the architectural design for people? Mike, Kate, second. All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? No. Motion carried. I guess we will, I'll say, process to. Wasn't as fun as that. All right. Move to the executive.
No, I want to just a few project updates.
Yep, go ahead.
Some other things. For those of you who had missed it, we had an excellent event 2 weeks ago on a Thursday at the Genesis Award. And I just wanted to show everybody I received this great plaque from Genesis as my legacy award. And then also a Senate proclamation, which I thought was quite unique from Senator Oberacker. Very excited. I was truly humbled by it. It's truly, it really takes all of us to do this. It's not just me, the board, the ledge. I mean, we're so different in Herkimer County. I just want to say, I mean, with the legislature supporting us with the money to buy the parks, the infrastructure, the way we pay it back, how we're moving ahead, how we're open here to work, how we're working with every town, village in our city. It's things are very positive right now, and a lot more is happening. And you know, when we talk about just the audits and the paperwork that we're doing, that's not including, you know, running water and sewer to the Russell Farm, getting the roads in place in Schuyler, working with the other companies that are coming in, the ones in the front, the one in the newer part. It's, you know, and looking at other land and having meetings on brownfields and solar and everything else that we're doing. So it's important that our team and Bree and Stacy are fantastic. We do need to add to it, but I think everything else, we're truly moving ahead with everything. So I was completely honored by this and humbled. So just wanted to let y'all know that.
John, you followed a billionaire very well. That was a tough act to follow. It really was.
Steve Wynn spoke first. Yeah. And he took off because he wasn't feeling good, and I wanted to hit him up for a hotel, you know, at least. And then also too, you know, there is not a slot machine manufacturer on the East Coast. And I wanted to see if you had any interest in that too. But what
used to be Momentum Technology.
Yeah, I remember. And then the Indians tried it for a while too, the Oneidas. They had a facility in Sherrill. I remember calling on them, but nobody makes them now. It's all out in the West Coast. We had Aflac in the other day. They said to bring it up to the board again if anybody's interested in talking to them about Aflac. We talked about our well, we didn't talk about Wilco. We talked about the audit that we're seeing. We talked about the USDA note. Our December meeting, we'd like to do it on 12/21. I know it's 2 months away, but it's prior to, we think that last week when we're having it might be a little difficult between Christmas and New Year. So we'd like to move it to the 21st. If there's any objection, let me know. This Friday, we're being called into the, oh, we got to start over. So 8:59.
Let the record show.
So, so we've been called to the county for our budget meeting. We've noticed that a lot of other agencies that had the same numbers they were submitting haven't been called in, so we're not really sure why we are. I'm happy if all the board attends, 9:30 at the county office building.
What date, John?
Friday morning, 9:30.
Next Friday?
This Friday. Yeah, they told us yesterday.
I'll try.
Yeah, I mean, who can make it, that's great. If you can't, I understand that as well. We're not asking for anything different. I've contacted most of the legislators and they're in full support, so I don't see anything different there. Wilcor, still working on trying to close that project. If Tony can attest to that, we've reached out to their council. They're home. I mean, that building is almost enclosed. So I'm shocked at how fast they're working, but that's good. Hale Manufacturing, still trying to close that one too. There's a couple smaller issues there. Victoria, does Jimmy have a packet? So we're still trying. Those are the two. Mr. Halleck believes we're probably closing in that month of December. And I think we're good with everything there. Can you think of anything else, guys? That you'll, when we go in the other room, you'll say we should have talked about this, and I forgot. I think now executive session. Unless there's other, unless there's other questions.
In this meeting.
Is there any questions before we go into executive session?
All right, you need a motion to go into executive session. And second by Kate. Any discussions? All in favor, aye? Aye. Any opposed?
If you want to stay,
legislators can stay.
But remember, it is executive session, Stevens. Okay.